Alright guys, how you doing? We're back with another filthy video from Hayabusa Fight Gear, the best gear in combat sports. Okay, what we're going to be working on today is the leg lacing and the outside heel hook. We're going to go over some different leg positions, some different grips, and I'll show you our entry at the end. So I'm going to teach you backwards a little bit. So one of the keys when you're dealing with things like heel hooks and a lot of leg locks, not all of them, but a lot of leg locks, is it's about controlling both legs. You want to control both legs, okay? And that's to delay escape, buy yourself some more time, because, you know, just because you control one leg, the other leg is free to move, and people spin and do some crazy things. Okay, so we're just going to go over some inside lacing. So I know some of you guys like to call it an Asian or whatever. I don't speak Japanese. I'm an American, but you guys do what you want. So the first lace we're going to talk about is the simple figure four. Okay, so the benefit of this is you get a lot of extra grip on the thigh. It does give you a little bit of control with the other leg, and now the heel is sticking out nice and big, so you can isolate it and attack. The downside of this is this is going to be very beatable. So if you do like to use this lace, what I recommend is you kind of move with haste. Okay, you got to move aggressive. You're not going to have a lot of time. Okay, especially if he knows how to escape this. And one of the easiest way to do it is for Isaac to pin that down and high leg over it. Now his other leg is free to move, and that can be the problem. But like I said, Mr. Reset, you don't really want to think of stopping power. A lot of people think, oh, I can stop his movement. You're just delaying it, and that's all you're trying to do is delay it so you can hook and get the tap. Okay, so this is probably the most common I see a lot of people use, and it's good, and it has some good points, and it's not my favorite. Another one would be using the reaping leg to lace underneath, and then using the other leg to stretch and pin, or try to split the hips, making it too difficult for him to come up and free his leg. Now, this is my least favorite, okay? I have long legs, so I can implement it, but you might not. So it might not be enough pressure in you stretching them, and then he can move. But that is a way to doing it, just pinching with your feet and spreading it out. The way I prefer is keeping the reaping leg lacing, lifting up my broken foot, going over the outside of his shin and crossing. And from this, you can kind of play a couple of different ways. You can try to curl and bite down and squeeze your thighs, giving you some grip on that top of the thigh, or you can focus on extending. And extending is going to add a lot more hip pressure, and once again, it's going to trap that foot a little bit and buy you a lot more time for you to attack the leg. And of course, right here, I'm controlling both legs, so he's in this game, and like I said, I don't need a ton of time to get the hook, but depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you might, and who you're going against, especially when you're slippery, you might want that extra control, so you don't just, as soon as you start looking for the heel hook, he's already escaping. And so I recommend that last one the best, but it's up to you. Now you can do another little modification, and that's physically controlling the other leg with your hand. So if you wanted to do that first lace here, you can actually control this leg and shelf it. And here you can give your legs a little bit of a squeeze, but once and again, you're going to want to control it, because even here, he's going to lift that leg and now start to escape. But you can finish a heel hook one-handed, and then, okay. So, but once again, you can do that one-handed and maintain the leg, and that can also be your counter. If you fail here, you can lift the leg and start scrambling up. Okay, so this is a couple ideas to play with that I don't know if you've seen before or not. Okay, now let's get on to the hook. All right, so let's actually switch sides for this. Okay, so when you do this, let's go forward a little bit. Okay, rub sacks together. All right. Okay. When you're here, see how the heel is exposed, but I'm on the wrong hip, and what's happening is my body is not really blocking the top of the shin. So when you get in this position, no matter whatever lock you prefer, okay, you want to pivot towards the hook. So like if I go here and I lace, once I come over, I want to crunch up towards that, and what it does exposes more of the heel. And what I like to do is line the center of my chest with the heel, okay? Because you don't want your body straight when you're heel hooking. It can be effective, but you got to be able to break it, even though you don't want to. You know, some guys, they won't show you that respect and tap, and there might be a competition. And my thing is, you can't, if your technique can't break the limb, then it's not real. You know, you're just going off a hip, and who knows who you'd be going against. So when you get to this big rotation, now your basic heel hook would be hooking right about where your watch would be, and you can lock a gable grip, and what you're doing is pulling it to your body and now driving your hip. Okay? Straighten your body and driving your hips, not opening your back so much, then it kind of just start to have slippage. Now another popular position is going under using the wide part of your wrist. And now when you're here focusing on squeezing tight, and now you get a little more pressure, but this hand's not really helping all that much. And once again, you do your finish. Now the one I prefer, I know you've seen Craig Jones switch it. That's pretty cool. I'm a little bulky for that, but that's pretty good lock too. But I go with this, and it really works well for me. So you can do this by either grabbing the ankle itself or just simply grabbing the heel. But what you're trying to do is pin the shin to your hip, making it harder for him to get his knee out. Okay, should he start to escape your leg grips, okay? And what I do is from here, I'm holding that tight, I hook underneath, curl crunch up to it, and now from here, start to take straight and drive my hips, all right? I like this the best because, you know, if a guy has a small heel, with your hand grip there, it makes the heel bigger, okay? And now it's a little strong grip, and you have some, should he start to beat the leg, you can kind of keep the leg in so he doesn't jump away from you so easily, okay? Now, one of the things about doing locks like this here is it gives you another option to go for a toe hold. It's like a modified toe hold. Gokor Chugrinchin used to do this all the time, where you go from here, keep that same grip on that heel, rotate and put your forearm down on top of the foot, and now crunch to your side, and that will target the ankle. So maybe you're having some problems with the heel hook, the knee's not going, you've got some type of flexibility, or your technique's not too good because you're tired. You can switch to that ankle lock. So from here and trying to finish to rolling and driving. And that's really effective too. And when you do that, what it does, it keeps the leg very jackknifed, okay, which makes it easier to control versus, you know, hooking. Sometimes the leg gets a little too straight and then the hip starts to rotate. Now my favorite, I just call it a short hook. I don't have a fancy name for it. It's like a short hook on an underhook, like if I had an underhook. Short hook is I'm gonna crunch and I'm gonna pummel under the whole foot. So I'm gonna trap his foot between my upper arm and my forearm, okay? Now you can grab the heel and just do it like this, but it's gonna require a little bit of work from your biceps. So if you're a little fried, you might have some little issues with that. But what you can do is simply figure four. Now this will guarantee break the leg. Even when you're not trying to mean to, it gives you a lot of control, okay? So from here, you're gonna short hook the whole foot, figure four, and now it doesn't take a lot of motion, and you're gonna really rip that knee out. Okay, so if you end up in a leg battle and you go to that, you're probably gonna end it. Okay, so when you're here, you got your standard, you got the reverse grip, you got, holding the heel, toe hold, short hook. finish. Okay? So if I had to recommend any of them, I like the short hook because it's definitive. And I don't have much play. You just got to make sure that foot doesn't travel past your shoulder up to your neck. And then you can finish it with your neck, actually heel hooking from your neck. What was a popular thing back in the pancrase days, back in the day. All right, so now getting into it. I mean, there's a lot of ways into a leg lock, but let's take a standard guard position. And what we're gonna do is when we fall back is we have to make sure he doesn't ride the momentum of us falling back, okay? So if I'm in Isaac's guard, I'm not gonna get into a guard break. And you guys know how to open the legs, okay? Say the guard is open here. What I'm gonna do is step an outside leg up, and what I'm trying to do is buckle the leg a little bit, okay? Once I do that, here, if you wanna hook the heel hook now and then fall back, there's pros and cons to that. One, you might hurt them when you're not trying to, because that momentum can be powerful and it can come on faster than you think. The other downfall about that is by stepping out your outside leg, you're telegraphing it. And by hooking the leg, you're telegraphing it. And that could cause him to hook this leg and then roll out when you fall back, okay? So it's up to you. If you want to be aggressive and hook it, just be careful because it might be on a lot harder than you realize. Okay, so let's move towards the center here. Okay. So from this position, now if a guy's holding your head, don't fall back, clear the obstacles, get your head up and pinch. So I'm kind of tracking this leg. Now I'm gonna focus on the other leg and I'm gonna grab the foot, the ankle I mean, but not by over gripping it. Okay, because he'll be able to slam his heel to the ground for one reason, and that can defeat the purpose. So I'm gonna get under it. And if you have a good clinch with your body, you can use two hands to get that elevated. Now windshield wipe that back foot, and you're gonna go right to your side and knee yourself in the chest. So from here, I swisher, go to the side, my knee comes up, and I hook. Now here's where we do that big hip switch. So as soon as that happens, use the momentum, pop, catch, and now you see where we are. We can now attack that leg and finish, or you can hit that short hook. And that will take care of the problem. Okay, so here's just a little intro. This stuff is old. I didn't make up any of this stuff. I learned all from GoCore. And you can find old videos in old pictures in black and white of old time guys doing it a long time ago. But things go in trends, and I think sometimes people don't know how to optimize that outside heel hook because it's a little easier to get into it, and it can be extremely effective if you know what you're doing. So, hope you learned something. Once again, go to HayabusaFight.com, buy some great gear. Thanks, Isaac, for the help, and I'll see you guys on the next video.